The target vehicle's rear bumpers have not moved at all because there's rust. And so if there's rust on the shock absorbers, you want to note that. You want to send that to the adjuster as well. The bullet vehicle submarined, you know, Dr. Croft was talking about that today. They broke right before and it went under and underrode the target vehicle. So any scratches that you see sort of on the underside of the bumper or down underneath on the frame, of course, you want to bring that up. The target vehicle requires greater than 2 hours of frame repair time. We're going to talk about that a little bit in terms of the dishonesty that's being provided in some of those repair reports. But if you do see frame repair more than 2 hours, you want to let the adjuster know that. The bullet vehicle requires greater than 2 hours of frame repair. The damage to the target vehicle travels beyond the rear wheel well. Multiple cars were involved in the accident, particularly effective when there are other vehicles with significant damage, but your client doesn't have any. There are statements or facts which support that there were multiple impacts to your client's vehicle. There were significant prior damage to the same impact area on the target vehicle. In other words, your client had pre-existing damage to their car, and now they got hit again. Suggesting that there might be some weakness in the car that pre-existed the accident that you were in, or that your client was in. The target vehicle was not a unibody vehicle. It's known that non-unibody vehicles are structurally engineered to be attached to rails running along the underside of the car, and sometimes the forces imparted on the occupant are different than they would be in another type of vehicle. The target vehicle has an attached item which would eliminate the effectiveness of a unibody or low impact bumper, particularly trailer hitches if you're in rural areas. And you of course have to analyze those and determine whether there's been any damage to those. Also, you probably would want to note if there's a winch or something on the front end or one of the tow bars in the front of the vehicle that hit your client. The bullet vehicle has an attached item, so again, that's what we're talking about there. The accident involves aggravated liability on the part of the bullet vehicle. So this is evidenced by police report documenting that the insured left the scene of the accident, that there was alcohol involved, or there was excessive speed. Those tend to get cases out of the missed unit. The target or bullet vehicles have injured parties who have demonstrable injuries. So a demonstrable injury, at least the way that it's considered in the Colossus system, is any injury that is visible by the eye or by imaging, medical imaging. So any x-rays, MRIs, CTs, anything like that that would show a demonstrable injury, that is something that should take the case out of the minor impact unit. The target vehicle that injured your client has suffered a demonstrable injury. So in other words, the defendant, who you're eventually going to litigate against, has some sort of demonstrable injury, even if your client does not.